Listen, I know inflation, the companies are just pushing up prices when it's not necessary. I get it. Holidays are coming and things are costing. But I have an idea for you for something. Don't say, oh, well, I don't paint. I can't paint. Can you use a brush and yeah, just paint the color? That's all I'm saying. Okay, so you can do that. This is something for yourself, and it can be gifts if you choose. But you know those some of the yogurts or some of those desserts, the refrigerated pre-made desserts, are in those little glass jars. Some are about this big, and some are about that big. Um, and that's great that they're not using plastic. I generally can't afford them because they are a little more, and I usually just use plain yogurt. So it doesn't make sense for me to buy them when they don't often come in just a plain yogurt flavor. Um, but I did over the last not this past month, but for over the summer at the food pantry every month. I'd get a box. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 8 or something like that in them, and usually about six. And instead of throwing them out, like I said, I'm glad there's no plastic. But instead of throwing them out like most people do, I was keeping them because I thought, being as that I paint and all, and I do crafts and all kind, and I garden. So there's lots of little things I need to put in to places, and instead of doing compartments on a big thing, it's really handy to have these jars. And it's not just women, okay? Let me give you a little idea. Now, I am not an incredible artist either, okay? Um, I see some people do animal portraits or people portraits, and I'm just stunned in awe. But you can still do things. Now, even my nephew, I did this last year. I gave everybody two a pair in like their colors. And my nephew even said to me this past year, I actually found something I for that jar. I actually put my Q-tips in. It's really cool. So I'm just gonna just with what's like right here. And I've given a dozen or so as gifts already. So this was a set, like the first one I made. I think this was paint pouring. And it's just a glass jar, and I use that for some of my paint markers. This is one. I've got my different earbuds and things like that in there. A pair of reading glasses because I don't want those squished. Here's another one. It's got my camera stuff in it against the wall. Just and these all were done with paint pens. The ones I'm showing you right now. Here's another one. And that's not, that's just putting colors down and having an eye for where you put them. Then I had some clamshells. So I made these last year, okay? I've got two of these. I just recently put the clamshell lids on. But there's two of those. One of these. You see, I do have things in them. This is, I'm not going to show you the other one like the first one because it's just the same. Here's the the other one in the four-piece set. Their little leopard track. Oh, sorry. But see, those are shimmer rubs that I have for different. I even use these. You can use these for makeup grades too, which I've done. So, oh, I had a jar. It was a jam jar, and I cleared it out, cleaned after it was done, and I cleaned it, and blah blah blah. And I have my holographic. That's just some of them. That's all I had at the time, and then I just put the colors, the holographic colors. It's actually the holographic glitter. You see that? Pretty bitchin', right? Look at that. Doesn't that look just so cool? But then I had two more. Now these were given. These came this color. It was I think it was lemon and lavender kind of yogurt. But that's the others. And I made a little shell cover. So it covers them both because they sit next to each other. This is a magnet. I've made a bunch of them. These are little canvases. You can get them at Joann's or a lot of them. Little tiny canvases. See, I put the magnet on it. You can use it for the little tiny easels. Here's one. I've got a whole bunch in the living room. Here's one that I keep myself. Here's another one. It's my twins, their eyes together. A blue and a brown eye. Each have, one has blue and one has brown. Then, I know you're like, oh, enough jars. But then I got a little nutso. These were the first ones I put lids on. And that's because, tell me they don't look like mushrooms. Oh my God. Right, I'd like to get a little hinge for that, but right now what I'm using is little E6000 as a hinge, actually. They've lasted for a year like that, so if I was going to do lids as selling or presents, I would have to find a little hinge. I'm sure they make them. I just have to find them. Here's another one. They look like little mushrooms. More stuff. Here's another one. So I made 3 like this. Now this, you say, oh, see, now you're painting more than just lines like the other stuff. No, these actually are thinned acrylic, like you do for paint pouring. And I just put a little drop and then took a straw. I bought these. I bought 2, so I don't have to keep using straws, and paper straws suck. So, I bought these straws. There's 2 straight and 2 bent. The bent are perfect for blowing, paint blowing. These are just straight ones that have these silicone little sleeves, so it is already bent. Those are strictly used for drinking for me. But I do have 2 straight ones for blowing, for paint blowing. Gosh. And this, I find it works best when you do it from this end, because you can direct this which way you want it to move. Yeah, you need to stand up for that. And that's all I did, was a little watered, down paint. You could even just blow it like this. And that is all that this is. That's all I did. That's it. Or I'll just show you these 2 more, because any others I have to get up. These I wanted to show the holographic glitter dust. It's not your your glitter or even your regular holographic glitter. This is called glitter dust. It is so freaking fine, and yes, it gets on everything when you use it, but it is so awesome. It is hard to film, but I will attempt because these this glitter shit is just, if you like glitter, this is the stuff you need to get a hold of. Personally, I get mine through Temu. Okay? Just the 3-color, but here, let me see if I can get this on there with just the showing of the sparkle. Yeah, you can see it on the edge there. See that? And then there's the other with the 2 primary and 1 secondary color. Again, see, it's hard because if you do it right on it, isn't that, you can catch glimpses of it enough to get the idea of how freaking these look when in sunlight. And it seems like that's how the only way to really do justice in photographing the holographic glitter is probably outside. This picture back here that you see all the time, that's actually, it's called Two Frontiers. It's space and deep sea. Obviously, I haven't finished the deep sea part yet, because I'm trying to decide. But the space part took a long time. I'd leave it, come back, and it's got a lot of that holographic glitter in it when you see it in person. One of these days, when it's completely finished, I'll bring the big thing outside into a sunny day